Your society told you money doesn't buy happiness, which is true because it's too busy buying your obedience. From follow your passion to hard work always pays off, you've basically been financially gaslit since kindergarten. Fact 1. The hard work always pays off. Scam. This is the economic version of Santa Claus, a comforting myth adults tell themselves so they don't cry on Mondays. We were raised to believe that grinding harder automatically leads to wealth. Spoiler, it leads to burnout, caffeine addiction, and a boss named Chad driving your bonus. In reality, studies show that wages and effort divorced decades ago, like an old couple who still share a house out of spite. Productivity's been up for 40 years, but paychecks have been flatlining like a bad Tinder date. Yet we still worship hustle like it's a religion, complete with motivational preachers selling $999 courses on mindset. Hard work doesn't make you rich. Leverage does, ownership does, and unfortunately, most of us are too busy working hard to ever own anything. Punchline: hard work does pay, just not you. Fact 2. The college guarantees success lie. Ah yes, the most expensive participation trophy in human history, a diploma. Society sold you the dream: study hard, pick a stable major, and success will magically appear in a neatly labeled cubicle with dental insurance. Instead, you graduated with a piece of paper, a lifetime subscription to debt, and the realization that Karen from high school makes more than you selling crystals on TikTok. Here's the truth: college stopped being an investment and turned into a very polite pyramid scheme. The average graduate now pays for 20 years just to prove they can finish PowerPoint slides on time. Meanwhile, companies are quietly removing "degree required" from job posts because they finally realized being $80,000 in debt doesn't improve typing speed. But we still cling to the illusion, like a bad relationship, because admitting we got scammed by the system hurts worse than Sally Mae's interest rate. Punchline: you didn't buy an education. You bought social permission to go broke with confidence. Fact 3. The home ownership Warvatig success. Delusion. They told you buying a house means you've made it. Congratulations, you now own 30 years of anxiety, one mortgage payment at a time. Society romanticized home ownership like it's a Disney ending, not a decades-long financial hostage situation with better curtains. You don't own that house, the bank does. You're just renting it from them at gunpoint, but with more paperwork and seasonal yard work. Here's the ugly math. By the time you've paid it off, you'll have handed the bank roughly double what it was worth. Add repairs, insurance, taxes, and that weird neighbor who keeps reporting your fence height, and suddenly renting is throwing money away starts sounding like a fair deal. The American dream wasn't built on homes. It was built on mortgages. A system so genius, it convinced millions to celebrate 30 years of debt as an achievement. Punchline: you didn't buy freedom, you financed your own prison with central air. Fact 4. The follow your passion trap. Ah yes, society's favorite scam wrapped in inspirational quotes and Pinterest fonts. Follow your passion, they said. Do what you love, and the money will follow. Spoiler, it didn't. The only thing that followed was burnout, 3 side hustles, and your bank app asking if you're okay. The cruel joke? Passion jobs are often the worst paid. Teaching, writing, art, music, all beautiful, all broke. Because when you love what you do, people assume exposure and experience are acceptable forms of currency. You can't pay rent with passion, but try telling that to your landlord. They'll just say, "Have you tried monetizing your hobbies?" We turned joy into a business plan and wonder why we hate both. Passion is supposed to give life meaning, not replace your income. Punchline: when your dream job starts feeling like a scam, it's because someone else is cashing your dream. Fact 5. The good debt fairy tale. Remember when adults said, "Not all debt is bad"? Yeah, that was the financial equivalent of, "He's not toxic, just misunderstood." They told you student loans and mortgages were investments in your future. Translation: socially acceptable chains. Here's the truth. There's no such thing as good debt when the system is rigged to make sure you're always paying, never owning. Banks call it leverage. You call it working weekends. Credit card companies literally reward you for spending money you don't have with something called points, as if a free blender will fill the void where your savings should be. Even student loans, the noble debt, are designed like a trap that ages worse than milk. You can't bankrupt it, refinance it easily, or outrun it. You'll die before Sally Mae forgives you. And even then, she'll probably invoice your ghost. Punchline: good debt is just bad debt wearing a suit and holding a diploma. Fact 6. The saving money security illusion. They told you to save money like it's a moral virtue. A penny saved is a penny earned, right? Cute idea. Until you realize inflation just stole your penny, your patience, and half your purchasing power. Society still preaches 1950s advice in a world where coffee costs the same as a stock share. The banks love this myth because it keeps your cash exactly where they can use it, not you. You stash your paycheck into a high-yield savings account that pays you 4% while inflation eats 6%. Congratulations, you're losing slower, and they'll even send you a thank you email for it. Meanwhile, the wealthy don't save. They invest, borrow cheap, and let assets make more assets. The poor save for emergencies. The rich use credit to buy time. Punchline: saving doesn't make you safe. It just makes you the bank's favorite employee. And you don't even get benefits. Fact 7. The more money, less problems. Myth society swears that if you just make enough money, life will finally calm down. That's adorable. Because if you think your problems disappear with wealth, you've never met a millionaire Googling, "Why am I still empty inside?" from his infinity pool. Here's the truth. Money doesn't erase your chaos, it amplifies it. More cash means more bills, more taxes, more friends who suddenly remember your birthday. You don't stop stressing, you just upgrade from rent panic to portfolio panic. Now instead of crying over overdraft fees, you're crying because your crypto dipped during brunch. It's not the money that fixes you, it's the mindset. But society would rather keep you chasing than thinking, because calm people don't make impulsive purchases or sign predatory contracts. Punchline: more money doesn't change who you are, it just gives your bad decisions Wi-Fi. Fact 8. The budgeting means control. Delusion. Ah yes, the ritual of pretending you're in charge while your bills laugh in your face. Society told you that budgeting equals freedom, as if writing "stop spending" in an Excel sheet magically fixes your rent-to-salary ratio. Spoiler, it doesn't. It just turns you into an accountant for your own suffering. Budgets don't make you rich, they just help you watch poverty in high definition. You color-code expenses, track every latte, and still wonder why your miscellaneous column looks like a cry for help. And financial gurus love this because it shifts the blame onto you. You're broke because you didn't plan. No, I'm broke because the economy is cosplaying as a casino, and my paycheck's the chip. Sure, discipline matters, but you can't budget your way out of a system designed to keep you needing one. Punchline: budgeting doesn't give you control, it just gives your despair better formatting. Fact 9. The invest early and you'll be rich. Fantasy. They say compound interest is magic, like financial fairy dust that turns pocket change into a mansion. What they forget to mention is that it only works if you start rich enough to actually invest. Just put $500 a month in the market, they say. Sure, right after I pay rent, groceries, and therapy for living in late-stage capitalism. The math is technically right, but the reality isn't. Most people don't earn enough to invest early and stay alive. Meanwhile, Wall Street gets rich selling you optimism and index funds while hiding the fact that your retirement projections collapse every time the market sneezes. The truth? Investing doesn't make you rich. Staying rich makes you a good investor. Punchline: compound interest is great if you can afford to survive long enough to see it work. Fact 10. The career ladder. Illusion. You were told to climb the ladder, but no one mentioned it's missing half the rungs and the top's guarded by nepotism. Corporate life sold you a dream. Stay loyal, work hard, and one day you'll get promoted. Reality check. Your boss just calls it team spirit, so you'll keep doing 3 jobs for 1 paycheck. Climbing the ladder doesn't guarantee success, it guarantees exhaustion. You'll attend vision meetings about company culture while your mental health quietly files for bankruptcy. The people at the top didn't climb, they were airlifted. You're not climbing a ladder, you're on a treadmill in a suit. The corporate dream is brilliant propaganda. It convinces you to compete for titles that mean nothing while someone else cashes your effort. Punchline: the ladder isn't broken, it's just not meant to reach the people actually holding it up. Fact 11. The marriage borigueur financial stability scam. They told you love conquers all, including debt, Spoiler, it doesn't. In fact, love often just doubles it. Society paints marriage like a smart financial partnership, but most couples are just combining credit scores and trauma under one roof. Two incomes? Sure. Two sets of bills, loans, and Amazon addictions? Absolutely. Studies show that arguments about money are the #1 predictor of divorce. Not infidelity, not in-laws, just Visa. Because what's mine is yours sounds romantic until it's about student loans and impulse purchases from Temu. And the wedding industry feeds this lie beautifully, convincing you to start your financially stable life with a $30,000 party and matching debt hangovers. Here's the secret no one wants to admit. The only thing marriage guarantees is shared Wi-Fi and joint panic every first of the month. Punchline: love might be priceless, but the catering sure isn't. Fact 12. The rich people are smart. Myth: we've been conditioned to think wealth equals wisdom, as if having money automatically upgrades your IQ. Spoiler: some of the richest people on Earth can't operate a toaster without an assistant. Being rich doesn't mean you're smart. It usually means you had a head start, a loophole, or a family tree shaped like a corporate ladder. The myth is strategic. It keeps the poor obedient and the rich admired. We call billionaires visionaries for reinventing public transport and calling it Uber, or selling overpriced water in eco-friendly bottles. Meanwhile, actual innovators are too busy affording rent to go viral on CNBC. Money doesn't prove intelligence, it proves access. But society loves its financial fairy tales, so we keep mistaking privilege for genius. Punchline: rich people aren't smarter, they just make their mistakes with better lawyers. Fact 13. The retirement is freedom. Mirage: they told you to work hard now so you can relax later. Later, being a mythical decade when your back hurts, your eyesight's gone, and the only thing you want to travel for is a nap. The idea of retirement is capitalism's favorite bedtime story, a way to make 40 years of soul extraction sound noble. Most people don't retire, they just downgrade their suffering to part-time. Your golden years are now sponsored by arthritis medication and discount cruises. And if you do everything right, save, invest, delay joy, congratulations, you can finally afford to live, right before you die. Retirement was never about freedom. It was about keeping you too hopeful to revolt before your body gives out. Punchline: you don't retire from the system, you just age out of your usefulness to it. Fact 14. The "we're all in this together" lie. Ah yes, the biggest con of them all, the idea that the economy is a team sport. Politicians, billionaires, and influencers love to say, "we're all in this together," usually from yachts with better Wi-Fi than hospitals. Meanwhile, you're calculating if you can afford both groceries and electricity this week. The truth? The game's been rigged since birth. You're playing Monopoly with one house and they're printing the money. Every economic downturn is just a clearance sale for the rich, and every recovery is you getting billed for it. They call it trickle-down economics, because nothing says equality like being grateful for financial crumbs. But here's the secret twist. Once you see the lie, you stop playing by its rules. Punchline: we're not all in this together. Some of us are just swimming while others sell the lifeboats. So there you have it. 14 financial fairy tales society programmed into your brain. Which one are you still living by? Drop your favorite delusion in the comments. And don't worry, we'll all pretend it's just for research.